Dark Phoenix was so bonkers that one of Capcom's developers said she made his mind melt. Capcom took one look at one of the most powerful characters in Marvel history and decided to put her in the game. No possible way that could backfire. She was so bonkers it actually led to 2 Evo winners mashing lights for 5 seconds straight. 5 seconds of just, yeah, this is it. Crazy characters, Dark Phoenix, let's go. John, I want to talk about crazy characters, but before we get into it, if everyone can psycho crush the like button, helps us out a ton.
Thank you so much, guys, and subscribe if you like what you see, if you've been back a couple of times and you like the EventHubs Talking Block, not podcast, then please do us a favor, sub, and we really appreciate it.
Definitely. Now I want to talk about Capcom taking one of the most powerful characters in Marvel history. You and I were talking about this before the show started, talking about who the most powerful characters are in Marvel, and it depends on the day, week, month, and circumstance, and all this other kind of stuff, and who has the Infinity Gauntlet. But hands down, one of the most powerful characters in Marvel at all is Dark Phoenix. And Capcom said, hey, you know what? Let's take this crazy character and put her into the game. And the results of that caused one of their developers at the time to say that the way Dark Phoenix was implemented melted his mind. It melted his dang mind.
Doesn't she kind of do that in real life, in real story? Like she can just melt your
Pretty
mind?
much, yeah. Not only did it happen from a theoretical standpoint, it literally happens actually, and also she melts life bars too. The whole premise of Dark Phoenix is that they give her very low stamina, very low life. You could kill her pretty quickly, even in her base form. But also her base form was pretty strong as well, right? But if you managed to build up 5 super bars and then Phoenix got killed, she turned into Dark Phoenix, which was insanely powerful. They attached a fireball pretty much to every move Dark Phoenix had, every one of her light ones. So her light attack would shoot a single fireball out. Her medium one would shoot 3, and then her heavy attack launched a crazy 5 on-screen projectiles. You just hit heavy punch, and boom, 5 projectiles come out there. She had a double air fireball that would track the opponent. A double air fireball, and you could do 2 of these in the air at one time. And they actually nerfed this in the later version, but you could still do it, right? So imagine Akuma's. We're going to have the footage up here on screen, but like it's like Akuma's, Shin Akuma's double air fireball, but it tracks you, and then she can do it twice.
Neat.
Yes. Plus, she could teleport and fly. So actually, one of the best strategies ended up being this character was insanity.
So
this character was crazy.
If any of those, by the way, touched you, what happened then?
She could generally teleport behind you or around and kind of continue the combo and do it and stuff like that. But actually, it wasn't super advised to have high-level execution with Dark Phoenix, as we're going to show here in the season's beating Velocity back in 2011, where Vassant and Flocker mashed Crouching Light for 5 seconds straight. Both players for 5 seconds straight. And here's the footage. This is a dramatic recreation here. Because the footage it's pretty crappy from back in the day, so we just decided to recreate it instead. 5 seconds of this, nothing but Crouching Light. So and then what happened? Both players are mashing for 5 seconds straight. Vassant kind of like gets pushed back and kind of stops mashing, and Flocker basically keeps mashing, and he wins, thus proving that mashing is always the right strategy.
Can't argue.
Why would you not use that, right? And this is at a major tournament. This is in the winners finals. It's not like these are 2 scrubs. These are both Evo winners in Marvel, and they're both like, nah, the best strategy, dog, is to just sit there and crouching light, and there we go. It was pure insanity. The crowd was going crazy. The announcers were going crazy. Everyone was going crazy. This is what Dark Phoenix did to people. John, how do you remember this character?
I did not know Phoenix very well at the time. But when Marvel 3 came out, you could play online, but they didn't have watchable lobbies. So if you were in a lobby with other people and you weren't the one playing, you were basically, you could see their names and you could see their ping, but they'd be playing and you'd have to wait for them to finish, and then you jump into your match, but you couldn't watch their match. you could see their health bars of their characters, okay? And I didn't know how Dark Phoenix worked either. So I was watching my friend Marco play somebody else, and he had Dark Phoenix on his team, and he was just getting his butt kicked. You know, it was like, this is Amaterasu, life going down, 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 down. Shenko, life down, down, down. It's like, all right, Marco's gonna lose. Life goes down fast. Empties. Game doesn't end. All of a sudden, life bar full. And then I see the other characters' life bars, which are still relatively full because it's Marvel and he was getting dominated. And then just empty, empty, empty. Marco wins. What's going on? I play him. Oh, I found out what's going on. Same thing happened to me, but I could just see it playing out. The character was ridiculous. She, like a lot of characters, if they touched you in Marvel, you're probably dead. It's kind of like a 3-touch-ish sort of a game. But she could lay traps. Wasn't it what she like laid traps, and if you jumped, they would go off? Or if like
no, what would happen is you would kill the other player, and then like as their body is down on the ground, like, you know, decaying and stuff like that, and you're waiting for the other person to come in, the next tag team partner, you're setting traps and other stuff like that, and then the moment they come in, those traps just trigger and hit you, and then Phoenix just continues the combos and kills you. Like literally, she would murder you where you stood, but heck, you didn't even have to be standing. The moment your character appeared on screen, pretty much Dark Phoenix would kill them. It was insanity trying to get away from her.
She was crazy for Marvel. That's a way to put it. She was crazy for Marvel.
One of the best strategies actually early on was taking the regular version of Phoenix, and when someone got 5 bars and everything like that, and running the hell away from them. Just because the original Phoenix is even one of the better characters in the game. She's just not the level of Dark Phoenix, right? And so it's like, okay, well, I don't want to let Dark Phoenix come out, so I'll just beat up, you know, Phoenix right all the way till the almost the very end of her life, and then go about it that way. But the Phoenix players got so good, like Filipino Champ and Flocker and other people, they got so good with normal Phoenix. It was like, okay, I mean, you could try to run away, but like I'm still going to kill you. And so basically it pretty much would come down to it that unless you had like, you know, Morrigan's like a meter stealing move, or, you know, you did a proper snapback or something like that, you were going to face Dark Phoenix
strategy
pretty much all the time.
Became you don't let Dark Phoenix onto the screen. You know, you talk about Marvel and how it's like, don't be on certain parts of the screen. The strategy against Dark Phoenix was don't let her be on the screen. And that was done through, you have to snap people back, and then that forces regular Phoenix to come out before they have 5 bars, and you try to kill regular Phoenix before 5 bars. But like at that point, you are dancing a pretty conspicuous dance, and when that's happening, it's fairly obvious that, you know, like the Dark Phoenix player is going to know, okay, so the other person's just going to try to be setting up snapbacks and such, and then they can probably be a step ahead of you just because you're going to be sort of obvious, because that's such a huge priority. But yeah, you had to devote total strategies around just not letting Dark Phoenix appear because she was so ridiculous. But she changed, right? Like they definitely attended to her in Ultimate, and she was definitely not the same character, because she kind of, I don't think she went away, but they knew that she was a huge problem in terms of the competitive scene, and they attended to her.
Yeah, well, they dropped her health by 10%. Like they just took 10% of her health and said, gone. And most people, when they heard about that, they're like, Dark Phoenix already has like really reduced health. Like he reduced it further, and it was like, yeah, they reduced it further because
it went down too, right? Like she was dying. Like if she was in Dark Phoenix,
you didn't have X Factor,
and X Factor would stop that. But yeah.
Yeah, X Factor would actually heal you a little bit, I believe, and then but as soon as it ran out, her health would slowly drain. But she did have a health shield where she could activate her super, and if you get close to the opponent, like and they were in that area, she would actually start healing back up again. That was the one way to kind of keep Dark Phoenix alive, where it wasn't just kind of like a touch of death. But pretty much when X Factor ran out, you had to be really careful.
Her quarter circle forward was she goes into the back files of the game and deletes the other character. It's like, why not? You know.
But speaking of further nerfs, Capcom actually made it so she could only do one of her air tracking fireballs when she jumped, although she could still do 2 by like flying and stuff. So it was like, it was a nerf, but it was kind of like not that big of a nerf, one of those classic Capcom, you know, kind of things. And then her traps, what we were talking about before, and those tracking fireballs, they would actually disappear if she got hit. If you managed to hit her before, they wouldn't even disappear. In the vanilla version, you could throw all that stuff out there, and it's like, oh, you hit me? Well, I've still got a fireball on screen, and you're gonna die now. It was
interrupt your combo that you've successfully landed, get clipped, and all of a sudden she's comboing you, and you're dead.
Yep, pretty much. So this is one of the most ballistic and hype characters we'd ever seen. Not only was she super powerful from a lore standpoint, but the way the developers implemented her in the game, it actually made sense. She was difficult to unlock, but pure insanity once you did it. Some would say mind melting, right? And it's like, yeah, they nailed this character. Like, she's a crazy character and she had to be toned down, but also she is a masterclass in, like, if you're going to make a Marvel game and you're going to make it, you know, crazy and wild, this is what Marvel is. Marvel is supposed to melt your mind. Marvel is supposed to be a crazy game where you have trouble tracking everything on screen. That's what adds to the hype. That's what adds to everything going on. So yeah, she's a crazy character, but damn, do I love me some Dark Phoenix.
Now, here's a question for the chat. It's very important. Famke Johnson, Dark Phoenix, or Sophie Turner, Dark Phoenix?
Even though I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, I have to go with Famke.
Oh yeah, easy. Xena on the top. Xena. Yeah, no, I didn't see the new one, by the way. So
yeah, either have I. I've just heard it was bad. So there's only like 5 superhero movies I've heard in recent times, and they don't make a lot of them. So I don't know why I haven't seen Dark Phoenix.
It's weird,
but yeah.